Hey guys, iKailaKai here, and today is release day of EB04 in Japan. And interestingly, EB04 maybe just won't exist in the West in that you won't have a box that says Egghead Crisis on it. So in this video, I'm just going to be, casually vlogging my day, show you what it's like day one in Japan on release day, because right now it's about 11 a.m. I woke up a little bit late because it's a Saturday. I was tired yesterday, playing a lot on the sim. So stores have already opened, but we'll see how easy it is to get product. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes easy, we'll see. I have tried making unboxing videos before, but talking about the cards one by one gets really boring really fast. So this is gonna be just much more of a casual video. So if you're into that, maybe stick around, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and let's get into it. Release days in Japan can be a little bit hectic. You can reserve boxes at some card shops, but that doesn't mean that you can't buy them on the day too. Best places to get boxes on release day would actually be electronics stores like Yamada Denki or Big Camera, and of course the official One Piece store because they have infinite stock, which is where we're going to be going today. The line to get boxes can be pretty long, but seeing what people do in Target and Walmart, I'm definitely not going to be complaining today. After waiting about 20 minutes, I finally get to the front of the line. They cut the seal so you can't resell it, and I have now officially acquired a box with no preparation today. And by the way, just for some context on how connected a lot of these card shops are in Japan, look at how close by the nearest card shop is. It's one of the great things about Japan is just being able to make any deck you want whenever you want. Also, it's pretty hard to be your own cameraman, so sorry some of these angles are a little bit weird. But yeah, after about a minute of walking, we are here. So we're back home now. This is generally how easy it is to get boxes in Japan. You can also reserve them ahead of time if you go to card shops and whatnot, but I don't care too much for that many boxes. I don't really get boxes in general, I just buy singles, but I thought I might as well this time. Although half of these cards you will have already seen, half of them you haven't. So let's just get straight into it. Now, this is just one box, and I have a track record for not pulling very many good things. Also, Japanese boxes are about half the size of English boxes in that each pack has, I believe, 6 cards? I don't know, it's been a little while since I've opened up packs. But yeah, this is just, for vibes. We're here to have fun and, just talk a bit about life. Because I was thinking, I don't really like doing unboxing videos all too much because I just have to sit there and be like, oh, this card's good in this deck and whatnot. But if I can just talk about life, it's a good way for me to just talk about whatever I'm thinking about while having this sort of Subway Surfers gameplay in a way in the background. So I don't know what I'll be talking about. Let's just get into our first pack. So yeah, you see, you guys have the green, purple, and blue cards. So you'll know a couple of these cards, but for example, Tashigin Smoker, you don't know. So yeah, it seems like 6 cards per pack. This is our rare. Maybe I'll talk about the cards every now and then. Tashigin Smoker seems like a pretty good card, but I'm not too convinced quite yet, just because I don't know exactly what deck you actually really want it in. The obvious answer is going to be Smoker, but I don't know if it's actually that good. But who knows, I don't know if it'll actually save Smoker, but the red navies and stuff have just been getting a lot of buffs recently. Colby buffs as well, so hopefully my mic isn't picking up too much of the plastic being cut. But yeah, I don't know, what are you guys excited for EB04? Because I've looked through a lot of the cards. Sanji looks really cool to me. Bonnie also looks really cool to me. I don't really know exactly what I'll end up choosing. So I think this is the closest that the East and the West have ever been in terms of actual set releases. Because right now Japan's still in OP14 and the West is also in OP14, which is, I don't think ever happened. Usually when it looks like we got something. I think it's an SR. But usually when Japan gets a set, it's like 1 week, a couple of days later, the West gets the set before that. Hey, that was really fast. This is a pretty good card to have, and definitely a card that you'll want to have if you're playing Red Yellow Bonnie. So I guess I'll put that off to the side a little bit, and we'll keep going, see if there's a second hit. I don't exactly know how these packs work. How's your life going, guys? It's always weird to kind of just talk to a camera, but I do know that by talking to this camera, I'm talking to several thousand people, which is both terrifying and comforting, knowing that I can do anything and there's going to be people who are there for me, which is always reassuring. I always try to live by this mantra where I try to be 1% better every day. I saw a YouTube video a little while ago. It was just saying if you're 1% better every day, then by the end of the year, you're 37 times better. And you know, being 1% better is way easier than being twice as good as yesterday, which is obvious, of course. But if you think about it, you know, if you're trying to be better than yesterday, and it's like, yesterday I didn't do my laundry, I didn't do my dishes, I'm a failure, I played card games and I lost 4 out of 8 games, which, to be fair, still 50% win rate, but you know, it can be tough, I guess. But then if you try to change everything all at the same time, it gets really overwhelming very quickly. So, I mean, for me at least, the best thing to do is to simply just try to be slightly better than yesterday. If you failed to wash your dishes the day before, do that now. If there's an email you need to send or something that you've been dreading doing, you might as well do it now. You know, you have to do it at some point, so rather than dreading it, just get it over with. This table, for example, like, I hated working on the floor because right now I'm obviously not in my usual place of being. I'm in Kyoto for work, and it kind of sucked having to work on the floor. So what did I do? I just made a table, and I'll show this camera actually. See, it's just plywood, and I put a piece of cloth on top of it so that it would look a little bit better on the camera. If there's a problem, see what you can do to fix it, which is obviously oversimplifying it, you know, but I think it's okay to oversimplify things, because if you overcomplicate things, you end up just not doing anything. If you have too many worries, you'd end up never getting anything done. So, in that sense, you know, I don't know exactly what this has to do with card games, but just in life, you know, you think that Kaido's going to be good, you give it a try, it turns out that he has a lot of good cards, but he's a little bit fragile. Life's kind of the same way in a sense, where you think that things are going to go your way, and they end up not going your way, and you can take that and just be sad that Kaido's not a good deck, or you can be like, hey, I mean, he's better than he was before. So 1% better than before is still better than 0% better than before. So, you know, in that sense, we're always moving forward. You know, this card actually has me thinking a little bit. This is all of the effect on the screen as well, I guess. But the main effect is to flip one of your life cards and then, or flip it face up. Then you can KO a 5 cost or less and a 6 cost or less if you have less characters than the opponent, I believe. So that's a pretty strong card. It also doesn't target base cost, which is a good and a bad thing. But I think that one of the strongest color combinations that we just never had a really good leader for is black-yellow. In that we don't really have a good black-yellow removal leader. So as they keep making removal weaker in black, and they keep making removal stronger in other colors, and eventually once we get a good leader that can support that, I think that those sorts of cards could be really good. I've seen recently, though, with all of the investor bros, I think they're called, Poke Bros or whatnot, cards prices have been going crazy, and that has affected Japan as well. I don't know if you guys knew that. There is one of the most controversial cards that's been printed. A lot of people were not agreeing with green being able to have cost reduction, but turned out that, at least for now, Carrot's not doing that much, which is unfortunate because I thought that deck would be really nice. Maybe with both EB03 and EB04 that'll end up changing. So I think generally when you're opening up packs, you're just opening up for fun. And I have this anxiety from when I was little with any sorts of gambling, where I always think about the costs, and if I've lost money, I feel absolutely miserable, which is why I'm completely impervious to any sort of gambling thing. Like, I know Kalshi's the big thing recently, Polymarket, DraftKings, you know, all of those crazy betting things that are going on right now. I've never had any sort of temptation to gamble because, hey, Kikunojo SR. Out of money trauma that I've had in the past, I feel very adverse to buying things that I could lose money on, which is maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing, but hey, I mean, we got a Kikunojo, I guess, which I don't think is worth too much, but the art's really nice, so that is something. Sorry, the glare on the card's a little bit rough. Also, cards right now are completely crazy in price. The set, like the standard Zoro SR is like 5,000 yen I saw in a shop, which is really crazy. I bet you could probably find it for like 4,000 yen, but like 4,000 yen for an SR in Japan is probably the most expensive SR that we've ever had. So hopefully those prices come down a little bit, and I think that just in response to prices being so crazy, everyone's trying to buy boxes, because it's like, well, if I buy a box and I just get one Zoro SR, then don't I technically make back my money from the box? Which is true, but again, if you don't pull that Zoro, then maybe you just feel really bad, because I feel like a lot of the green, blue, and purple alt arts are pretty low in price. Oh, sorry, I was actually showing the rare there. Hidden Myth Ball, what does this card do? That's pretty interesting. I don't remember what decent 3 cost or less sword characters are. I know there's some pretty solid 1 costs that are 2Ks and whatnot that have like pretty solid on-play effects. let you attack into active characters and whatnot, but I don't remember if there's anything specifically that was 3 cost that was good in that deck that you'd really want to pull out of your trash. But if there is, I mean, that's a pretty good card. It's kind of like Spandine, except it only reaches 3 cost, which is, if you think about it like that, maybe a little bit unfortunate, but yeah. Foxy's good deck. I don't remember what this law does though. Yeah, no, never mind. I don't need to know what that law does. The card that only exists for flavor to be destroyed by never existed. And Isho. I wonder how good Kuzan is. The thing is, I saw a lot of people talking about Kuzan, and I saw no results of Kuzan, so I just assumed that the deck's bad, but I haven't actually been able to test it at all. Kind of hard to test things when you actually have a job, which is part of the reason why I've been kind of thinking about leaving my job. The thing is, like, obviously YouTube can be unstable income, but thanks to the other platforms that I have, as in Metafy, I guess, and then eventually, hopefully, with sponsorships, it should be fine. Japanese jobs just don't really pay that much. But because Japanese jobs don't pay too much, and because the majority of my audience is Western, it means that the ads that people watch are English ads, which means that I get English ad revenue, which means that my RPM, the amount of money that I make per 1,000 subscribers, is pretty high relative to other One Piece creators, so I'm super grateful for that. Couldn't do this sort of thing without you guys. Because right now, at least, I'm working on a normal job. Oh, sorry. There's the leader, and there's Megaro. Oh, also, I heard the leader pull rates are absolutely terrible this set, but maybe that'll be different for you guys in OP15. It's really hard to test too many decks when you have a full-time job, especially if you're also doing YouTube on the side, because you need to kind of decide after you do your job, are you going to play the game today, or are you going to make videos? And making videos actually makes money, so you're kind of hard-pressed to find time to play games, but still, if you don't find time to play games, then you can't really explain them too well. It's a difficult duality of having both a job and being a content creator for a card game. We'll see. I think that most of the people who are at least watching this video don't actually do card games full-time. I'd be surprised if you did, honestly. But that seems to be the majority of people, just maybe playing like once per week at most. Still, Hankoku. I thought this card would be good, just the trigger being able to pull out Gorgon Sisters, but I haven't seen anyone in the West really playing it, so I guess that means it's bad. It also probably just only has one time and you can play it out. 5 costs 7,000 while being good. If you don't play it out on that 5-dong or 6-dong turn, and you also have some pretty good targets like that 6-cost Kamar, 5-cost Nami and whatnot that you'd probably rather play, makes it so that it's kind of hard to justify playing this Hancock over some other cards when this card doesn't even have a counter, so I guess that makes sense. Still, we have not seen too many SRs, so my hopes for an SP still exist, but SPs are 1 in 12 boxes in Japan, so a little bit unlikely. Also, given my history, I probably won't pull any of those things, but ooh, okay, there's another SR, and it's Foxy. I'm really hoping for Borsalino SR or Zoro SR, just because of the price. But still, I am happy though, all things considered, that we got the Luffy, because if I just got, like, for example, if I got a Foxy SR or something, I don't know if I'd upload this. I think I'd probably just end it right there. You'll never see me again. Oh, yeah, Zephyr, by the way. Interesting, like, this card, specifically made for Sanji, could actually be pretty good in Krieg. I just want to talk about this card a little bit. So, on attack makes your leader base 7k, so for Sanji, of course, it's just 7 cost 8,000 rush that also makes your leader 7k, which is really insane. So I think Red Sanji may be a little bit underrated, but I obviously haven't tested it at all, so just need to see exactly what ends up being correct. I don't know exactly what's holding back that leader in all honesty, but another interesting thing about this card is that it's East Blue. And being East Blue means that it's usable in Krieg, which means that you can make, if you can manage to keep this on the board for 1 turn, for it to attack because you can't give it rush if you're in Krieg, it's a 7 cost 8,000 that makes your leader 7k, and then also with your leader effect reduces the opponent's characters by 2k, which is basically making your leader pseudo 9k. And actually, it's better than being just a 9k leader, because it's reducing the opponent's character's power, which means that even if they decide not to hit into your leader and they hit into your characters like Zeph, then they're still going to be reduced in power. So it's going to be really difficult to get rid of Zeph, and because your leader's 7k, they don't really have very many good choices. They probably have to just ignore the Zeph. But if they have any sort of power reduction, obviously that'll change. But still, I think it's a very good card. I don't know if it actually end up being used in Krieg, because we just don't know all of the cards in Krieg yet, but still, having that East Blue typing is really, really valuable, and I'm sure that that's by design. So maybe a card to look out for, you know. If you're an investor, bro, buy out all of the Zeph that you see. It's a common card, so you probably have to buy like 80,000 for it to mean anything. So if you're down for that, you know, I think you deserve it if you're willing to buy that many. This card's insane, by the way. This card makes Sanji actually playable into Ime. because usually you had the 5-cost Reiju, which plays a 7-cost or less event, and that card was kind of useless into Ima because none of the cards that you played were really good into Ima, and also Reiju just gets destroyed by the 6-cost Marcus Mars. But because this card now exists, you can technically go Reiju into Stealth Black into the Sanji, which means that just the Reiju is giving you more ways to get Sanji onto the board, and it's not just a 3-cost Sanji, it's the 6-cost Sanji as well, which is also out of range of Mars, so just really great at sticking onto the board. If you can actually get like 3 characters that are at least 3 costs 8,000 or something on the board versus Inu, and you can protect them with the counter events that you have, whether it's Gungam Giant or the 6-cost Sanji, and I think it gives Blue Purple Sanji a really good shot in the meta. Don't know if it'll actually end up being top tier, but at least from my testing, it seems like it's pretty high tier. Like, I'd give it at least A tier, I think. Very good card, very excited to see how that's going to function. Oh, by the way, sorry if you noticed this band-aid on my finger. I cut myself yesterday. Not in that way. I was making dinner. I was trying to cut a carrot, but I cut the carrot on the round way for some reason instead of the safer way, and my blade rolled off the carrot and hit my finger, which hurt a lot. But I have a band-aid on it, so now it doesn't exist. Oh, okay, it's just Finger Pistol, but base cost. That's interesting. I guess you have some good options. Oh yeah, I forgot this card exists too. Shiraoshi actually seems like it could be pretty solid. Like, 7 cost 8,000 blocker, and then you play out a Sea King or Sea Beast. I don't remember what they're called. Could be really nice. And you also have the board protection from that 2-cost Shiraoshi as well. I think that Shiraoshi could be pretty solid in the meta, but I don't know how good in the meta it's going to be. I do need to test that a little bit when I get the chance to. We have, including this pack, 3 packs left. I think that we're guaranteed at least 1 more SR. Doesn't seem like this is going to be a very exhilarating box, but hopefully me just talking for a little bit has been exhilarating enough. Exhilarating is probably the wrong word, but let's finish this off. So, let me know how you guys are doing, because, you know, YouTube as a medium makes you feel like there's some sort of elitism, I guess, where, you know, the YouTuber's talking to people and you're just the viewer, but at the end of the day, we're just human, you know? I'm just a guy who's playing with cards, and it just happens to be that a lot of people like to watch it, and you are also a person that plays with cards, so I do read a lot of your comments. I don't actually interact with too many of them because I feel bad if I don't interact with every single one of them. So I restrain myself from interacting with too many comments, but I do read them and I am super grateful for them all the time. Let me know how your day is, I guess, because my day today has been a little bit chaotic, all things considered. Okay, we have 2 packs left. I'll go with this one. 人斬りかまぞう。主の船出だ。吉名に頼むよ。鳥。ブルーグラス。ベガパンク? Oh, Distortion Future. I was actually thinking that this card could be pretty solid in Ace as well. Just as a replacement potentially for that 1-cost Ace, Sabo, and Luffy card. Just this card kind of does a similar sort of thing where if you have 2 or less life, then you can reduce one of the opponent's characters by 3,000 power. And on counter, you give your leader plus 3,000. And of course, with your leader effect, you could trash it for a 2k to anything as well. So could be a pretty good red-blue Ace card, which I'm not too excited for because I don't think that deck needs too many buffs, but I think it could be viable. Which brings us to our last pack. And there is our guaranteed SR, which means that we don't have an SP, which is too bad, but such is the way. At least we got the Luffy. Ha! Roshinante. So, are you going to find me in a ditch tomorrow? Probably not. It's close though. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we got basically 1 good card. All in all, we got about the box worth of cards, and you know, a couple of cards that I don't know what to do with to go with that. At least I had a place to talk to you guys and just chill. And if you guys enjoy this kind of content where I'm just kind of vibing, chilling, and just saying what's on my mind, then, you know, maybe let me know, because I do read the comments. And if you guys like it, then I will do it once again. Here's one more shot of Luffy because the secret rares just always look really, really nice in this set. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, more casual than usual, just kind of chilling, vibing, and just having fun, talking to you guys, letting you know what's on my mind, just human to human. Please let me know if you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.